Hey guys, welcome to 6 Bit 2 Inches vlog. So we are continuing with our lectures on memory. This is lecture number 2. If you haven't seen the lecture number 1, then please listen to the lecture number 1 since I have covered the basics of memory in lecture number 1 about the types of memory and do read the chapter as well along with the lectures. So we are going to study models of memory. Now, how does the memory work? Where is the information stored? Or what is the process of memory? We have seen the stages like the encoding, retrieving, and storage. So, how does it work? To answer this question, researchers have given different models to study the memory. We are going to study information processing model, levels of processing model, parallel distributed processing in this lecture. Information processing model is also known as three stages of memory. The first model of memory which we are going to study is information processing model, which is also known as multi-store model of memory or three-stage process of memory because there are three types of memories involved in it, which is sensory memory, second is short-term memory, and third is long-term memory. So this model was given by Atkinson and Shiffrin, and it's somewhat like computer, we can say. The only limitation is that just like the computer has, limited capacity of storage, our brain or our memory does not have limited capacity. Ability to store information is a lot, but there are various factors affecting the process, such as emotions and motivations. Uh, so let's get to the model. So, according to this model, the information first enters through the sensory system. The senses could be anything like, visual or auditory or smell or any information which is coming through your senses is known as like sensory information, and that's your sensory memory. And we have also seen in the first memory lecture that auditory information tends to remain like more than the visual information. And so, for the information to move into the short term memory, it is important that you're paying attention to whatever information you're getting through your sensory organs. So that's called selective attention. So after the selective attention, if you're paying attention to the information that is being given to you, then that information will be moved to the short term memory. And if you are continuously rehearsing the information or practicing that information in your short term memory, then it will be moved to the long term memory. So it's like if the information is like rehearsed for enough time, then it will enter and be stored in long term memory. So this is the diagram of multi-store model or information processing model of Atkinson and Shiffrin. You have to memorize the name of the model as well as the psychologist who has given this model. It can be asked in match the followings or it can be asked directly in a MCQ question. So first you can see here there is environmental input, and from that there is sensory input which can be sight, sound, visuals, etc., and it enters sensory memory. As we are aware, there is so many information around us which is constantly being bombarded into our senses, but we what we do is we are paying attention to a specific information which we think is important, and the other information which we think is not important, the one we are getting through the senses, is forgotten. And if the attention is paid and if there is a rehearsal which is maintenance rehearsal, then it is transferred to the short term memory. So if there is not enough maintenance of the information, then the information received is forgotten through decay or displacement. And due to elaborative rehearsal, uh, please go through the chapter up sorry I mean please go through the lecture 1 which I have conducted. If you haven't seen it, I have explained maintenance and elaborative rehearsal in it. Elaborative rehearsal is more effective because we are finding meaning, and we are connecting the information with other information present in our system. So due to elaborative rehearsal, the information is then passed into the long-term memory storage, and here it is stored for the long time. So you cannot forget something. The only thing is that when you say that, like you feel like you have forgotten the information completely, it means that there is some kind of interference or there is retrieval failure. It's like, for example, imagine information as a box, okay, and the box is stored on some upper cupboard. And if you have this test, which means ability to access the memory, that is, if you can access the box, that is box of information, then you will be able to recall or retrieve it from the long term memory. But if there is some problem with the ladder, then it's obvious that you won't be able to retrieve the memory. So this is a thing with memory also. When something is stored in the long term memory, you do not forget it. It's just a matter of accessibility. You If you are unable to access it due to any reason, it could be anything, like also mood congruency, and how biology plays a role. We are going to study it. So it could be because of the retrieval failure. Okay, so now we are going to study the second model of memory, which is levels of processing model. It is given by Craig and Lockhart. So this model assumes that information that is more deeply processed or processed according to its meaning, rather than just the sound of physical characteristics of the word or words, it will be remembered more efficiently and for a longer period of time. Okay, so they had conducted a experiment. For example, they flashed words in front of the participants, words like ball or bat, lamp, and the participants were first asked to memorize the words according to the capital letters, like uh, capital letters in ball or small letters in bat. That way they were asked to memorize the words. They were not asked to think of the meaning. And then the second group of participants were asked to memorize the words according to the meaning. They were asked to use the word into a sentence. For example, if the word ball was flashed onto the screen, then the participant was asked to use that word ball into the word or sentence. Sorry, it's sentence. So, for example, the participant would use a sentence like, I like playing with uh, bat and ball, so they can remember the information more effectively. So in their conclusion, they found out that the information which was processed, deeply processed, according to its meaning rather than just its physical appearance, like capital letters in the words, or the way it is sounding. So the information which was processed according to its meaning was more efficiently stored. And we can also apply this in our studies, like whatever we are studying, if we are just repeating or uh, cramming whatever we are reading, this way we are not going to remember the information for the long term. So we need to like connect the information with existing information, or try to understand the concepts and meaning of whatever we are studying. and that is what levels of processing model suggests. So here is a diagram of levels of processing model. In it, you can see three types of processing. First is structural. It means that we try to memorize something just by looking at it, looking at the structure of it, and it's shallow processing because the information will be lost sooner. And there is weak memory trace leading to short-term retention. Then there is acoustic or sounds like, and it has somewhat like okay kind of memorization ability, but still it's not that effective because it will be lost eventually. Then there is semantic or meaning, that is deep level of processing, in which we are trying to memorize something by understanding it or by trying to form and connect it with some meaning, and it has strong memory trace leading to long term retention. So now we are going to study the third model of memory, which is parallel distributed processing. We have seen the information level model, in which there were three steps of sensory memory, then short term memory, and long term memory, which was in a sequence or serial. But there is another theory according to which the brain does not function in a series of activities, but rather it performs a range of activities at the same time, which is parallel to each other. It means that the brain is performing various activities at the same time in a parallel fashion manner. So this theory was given by James McClellan and Rummel Hart. Okay, now we are going to do the concept check MCQs. The first question is, which account suggests that information processed semantically is more likely to be remembered than information processed perceptually? A. Mood congruency. B. Encoding specificity. C. Levels of processing. D. Implicit forgetting. Please pause the video, take your time to answer, then go to the next slide. So the answer is C. Question second is the match the following. I hope you have gone through the both lectures, memory lecture number 1 and lecture number 2, and I hope you have memorized the model names and the psychologists who have given it. So here's the name of the models and the psychologist. You have to match the pairs. First is three-stage model, second is levels of processing model, third is parallel distributed processing, and A is McClellan, B is Craig and Lockhart, C is Atkinson and Shiffrin. So options are given, and please pause the video, just go through this question and try to answer it by yourself, then only go to the next slide. Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, so thanks for watching. Do subscribe and share the video with your friends, and stay tuned for more upcoming conceptual videos related to NET, JRF, set psychology, and for MCQs, which will be uploaded once a week based on the all the lectures which I will be sharing from Monday to Saturday. So do go through the videos. Thank you.